What's going on, guys? This is Eric from rulethewasteland.com. You know the drill. This is going to be a really short one because I'm just doing this as an intro. We have the Prepper Trifecta live stream on JJ's channel, Reality Survival, which we'll be starting that at 5 my time. So in half an hour. What's up, Jen from Tennessee? So I'm going to get off this at about 10 minutes before 5. So I have time to just, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, stuff like that. But I just want to check in, make sure everyone knows about that. Go over a few things. I'm getting really close to being able to have my Rule the Wasteland Survival Fishing Kit available for sale. So it's going to be a limited run. In the beginning, got the stickers back. I like the way they look. What's up, John and David? So there'll be a limited run pre-order that I'll do. So I'll let everybody know. Get on the email list. Link should be in the description. If it's not in this video, it's in the description of all my other videos. So you'll be able to get on the email list so that when my fishing kit is ready for its first run, which will probably only be about 50 to make sure anybody wants it. I'm not going to make a ton of them if no one ends up buying it. So what's up from North Carolina? Last time I went over I'm going to say in my live streams every week, I'm going to mention at least 1 or 2 channels that I think are decent, smaller channels. Last time I mentioned Let's Talk About Prepping. Great guy over there. Check him out. This time, you should also check out Provident Prepper. They had a really good video recently of food storage, long-term food storage, what stuff. They even cracked open some stuff that had been stored exactly the same way. One was stored in the garage and one was stored in like a cool basement. You could like physically see the difference. They go over some of the pitfalls with long-term food storage. Excellent video. Link for that is in the description as well. Definitely check it out. What's up, everybody? We got Mississippi, Florida, Long Island and North Carolina and Tennessee in the house. And of course, Florida Gators, even though I'm in Nevada right now. You have to go through it. Have to go through what? Don't know what you're talking about. Our bus stopped on a dime. Dime was in a pocket. Ooh. Arkansas. Wow, I got all over the place. Actually, I've been to almost every state in the union. I went to a giant pedestrian bridge in I think it was in Arkansas called the Big Dam Bridge. That was one of the few times I've been in Arkansas. Utah checking in the house also. Shut down because of sharing. I don't understand what you mean. Why would they be shut down? And right in Virginia also, I've been to every state but 3. I haven't hit North Dakota, Hawaii, or Alaska. 30 below in Minnesota, Oregon. We got a lot of states. California, checking in. We're getting the whole thing. Like I said, for those of you who just showed up, this is going to be short. I'm checking out at about 4:50, about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to show up again on the Prepper Trifecta live stream with JJ and Shay on the Reality Survival channel. Canada as well. Yeah, Shay's from Canada too, so you can check it out. Yeah, Virginia, I'm not sure if that's why people would get shut down. There's nothing against any terms of service or anything like that for promoting someone else's channel or just mentioning that you should check out somebody's channel. So I don't doubt that some people have gotten shut down, but I seriously do doubt that that is the real reason. Because I've done it before. Lots of people, everyone's done that at some point. So yeah, so if you guys remember, get ready for the Prepper Live. If you got a few questions, hit me up, and I'm here for a few minutes. And get on the email list so you know when my fishing kit is ready to go out. Yeah, so the 2 topics that we did videos on were 10 rules for your group or your shit the fan mutual aid group. 10 rules that you would have, and 10 things for your community to do after shit the fan. So we've each done videos on both of those topics, and we're each going to talk about our answers. A lot of overlap, some things that some of us came up with that the rest of us didn't come up with. Very interesting stuff. Good to hear what these guys have come up with. Interesting thought exercise as well. How do we get on the list, and what is in it? The list I'm talking about is just an email list. If you look, it should be in the description to this video. If not, the description to all my other past videos or the sidebar of rulethewasteland.com has a way to get on the email. It's just an email list where I send updates, send tips, and stuff like that. So when this is out, challenges catch fish with your kit, not at the trout farm. Yeah, exactly. The problem is there's not a whole lot of places out here to go fishing. The ones that I'll go use it at the local lakes, but they stock those, so it's probably pretty easy, but it's better than nothing. And then hopefully this summer I'll be able to travel to some family property up in the Great White North and do some fishing up there, which is just would be much more legitimate. Thanks. Hi from Canada. I'm glad you're liking it. What's up, Shrek? Get ready for the all right, what was the question? I said Baron Said good question, but I didn't see what the question was. Oh, how do you get on the list? Yeah, that's the email list. Should be in the description of all my videos. Just sign up. I have no pants. Wouldn't you like to know? Maybe I'll stand up at the very end, see what I'm wearing. I've thought about that before. You guys like, yeah, I could be wearing anything. You guys wouldn't even wear nothing, and you guys wouldn't even know. Texas too. We've got at least like 15, 20 states representing. So any quick questions, let me know. In 15 minutes, I'll take off and then have a 10-minute break and then show up on Reality Survival's channel. Check out Let's Talk About Prepping and Provident Prepper. That's what I mentioned, Ohio. Those are some good things we got. So yeah, there's some good stuff to talk about on the live stream. If you guys have any questions, I didn't really have any topics for this. I just wanted to mention that I'm almost done with my fishing kit and to let you guys know about the live stream that's coming up and answer any really quick questions for those of you guys who won't be able to be here for the next live stream. The best fish catcher by far is a gill net, though it's illegal, but I doubt I'll let that stop me. Yeah, if you're talking about a life or death situation, then it wouldn't matter. Gill nets would take up more space, and they're not something that you can use in every situation. I believe they would make most sense in a river. If you have a big lake with not a clean shoreline, I think it would be a lot harder to utilize a gill net, if I'm not mistaken. So having some sort of, and with the stuff that I'm going to have in here, you have some hooks and leaders and stuff like that. You'll be able to use that for even if you can use like treble hooks and stuff to catch birds, maybe even turtles, different things like that. It'd be cool if the ad playthrough they can make a nickel. Hi all, what's up, Belgian prepper? So I've got some cool videos coming up. I'm gonna be doing a what's the word? Collaboration with Morgan at Rogue Preparedness. I won't tell you the details on that just yet because we're ironing it out, but it should be fun. She's got a little challenge for us to do, see how we can handle it. Florida in the house as well. I've got more sun oven videos coming. I got some more legacy food taste tests. I got some rocket stove videos. I got all sorts of stuff planned, man. Some more shooting. I've got a shooting test. I'm going to test a movie, something that happens in a movie involving firearms, and I'm going to test it out in the desert, see if it would really work. So that should be fun. Can't wait to see that with Rogue. Yeah, that'll be fun. I got another movie, plenty of movie reviews coming up. I'm going to be doing, most likely next will be The Domestics. So if you want to watch that before I do the review on it, that is 90% probably going to be the next movie. And then there's a new one on YouTube or on Netflix, kind of like a disaster movie. You might check that out at some point. And I got a whole list of other movies as well. Bunch of stuff coming up. Fishing with tarred bank line, what size works well? I'm not a fishing expert, but all the fishing options, like what type of line you use, what type of lure, it all is dependent. I'm putting a kit together of very basic stuff so that you can try to use in a majority of situations, but it's not going to be best for everything. It's not necessarily even going to be good for everything. So I don't even know what tarred bank line is. Is that some kind of weird joke that somebody's making? Some people come up here and make weird jokes, but like I said, I'm not a fishing expert. I'm sticking with I wanted to make a kit for myself, very basic. And then once I started looking at it, oh, it's just a braided line for if it's going to be rubbing against the shore and stuff. Yeah, there's so many different options that you can use, and most of them are better. So like if you're going to go fly fishing versus, like I said, you're doing on a rough shoreline versus all sorts of different situations. There's so many different things. I do own a ballistic helmet. In fact, it's right over here. It's one of the older models. It's even got my name on it. Best off-road truck, newish. How about independent front suspension? Yeah, I mean, that stuff's good. If you can have independent suspension, like newer, you're obviously going to be more susceptible to any EMP stuff. So, but you have so many features, and newer cars are fine. There's nothing wrong with new cars. I want to get an older one simply because they're cheap, they're super easy to fix, all that stuff. Will thermite detonate underwater? Well, it doesn't detonate, but it will burn underwater. The thermite reaction creates its own oxygen. So once it's initiated, it would be harder to initiate it underwater, but once the reaction is initiated, it doesn't need external oxygen source to continue the reaction. So if you light thermite and you can't put it out with water, if you throw it in the water, it'll still be burning and bubbling underwater, things like that. Do you have a big head or a medium? I have a very normal size head. My head is not large. I'm just close to the camera for these. Stream stopped. Looking for me on my end. Yeah. Okay, what else we got? Size. of what? The helmet? I don't know. I think this is a. This is L6. I use medium for most things. Headgear. Sometimes large for gloves and hats is different. It depends on how they size it. Occasionally is medium, occasionally is large. Most other stuff is medium. But I'm a little tall for my weight. Most people, because I'm about almost 5'11", 5'10 and a half, something like that. And I only weigh like 165 to 170. So yeah, all I remember are the cat eyes of the helmet in front of me. Exactly. Interesting stuff. So these, like I said, this isn't the newer model of the current issue. It's the older one that doesn't, because the newer ones have like more of a dollop in the back and things like that. But better than nothing for sure. Most injuries reported in wartime and stuff tend to be of like the head and neck and everything. So a helmet is important. Yeah, larger gloves and mitts allow you to layer it, but you do lose a lot of dexterity. And I don't like the feeling of trying to do things with loose gloves on. It can be a big pain in the ass if you're trying to do fine motor skills. But if it's really cold, you don't have much of an option. Out here, it doesn't get that cold. Like it can get in the 30s, but that's rare. Turn in your TA50. What TA50? I don't know. It disappeared. No, even when I was actually in, most of this stuff is from before I actually commissioned, from ROTC and things like that. And we used the ACU by the time I was actually commissioned. When I went through ROTC, it was the Woodland camo, which I like the Woodland camo. Obviously, it doesn't work for the desert, but in terms of anything not desert related, the Woodland camo is one of the best patterns. The multicam is really good too, and like the Marpat type camos. The ACU camo is trash. It looks ugly and it doesn't work at all, in my opinion. It's not a fantastic. It would be better to just have almost a solid color, even the old tricolor desert or something like that. Yeah, I can get a new cover for it. I just haven't got around to it. It's certainly an option and one that I'll do eventually. Because I have one of my vests is also Woodland camo, so matches. So I'd have to get a new cover for that. Best warm gloves. I don't know glove brands, and I don't have to deal with winter temperatures too significantly out here, so I haven't had to worry about extremely. I just have some North Face gloves for when I went to Iceland. Anything like Kevlar can potentially degrade over time, but most of the time when you hear about, vests and stuff having a shelf life, like this is firm, it's a slightly different than the soft Kevlar. It's probably less likely to degrade, but you could potentially have some degradation with time, but it's usually moisture and heat. So a vest that you're wearing like every day with the sweating and then the constant movement and flexing it is going to degrade a lot faster than one that's sitting in your closet. So yeah, you can't guarantee the same ballistic protection on a 10-year-old vest that you can on a new one. In fact, the manufacturers will usually not make any guarantees past about 5 years, but that 5 years is intended to be 5 years of actual use. So if it's hanging in your closet, it's still a hell of a lot better than nothing. And I would be fairly confident personally that it would have much of the same ballistic protection that a new one had if you hadn't been doing anything with it and it hadn't been in extreme temperatures. The plates themselves, you probably shouldn't have to worry, especially if they're like polymer steel plates. Nothing's going to happen to them from just being a few years old. Steel plates, you have to worry about spalling though if they don't have an anti-spalling coating, because when a bullet hits steel, it'll explode basically, and little pieces of the bullet will travel along the plate and can shoot up into your neck or your limbs or whatever. So still probably better than just getting shot dead on with a rifle round, but they have coatings for it that can kind of trap or slow down those particles to prevent the spalling. Or if you have ceramic or polymer plates, it's not normally an issue. How many tourniquets do you carry? I just have one. I actually have two in my car kit, and then I have one on my like normal vest loadout, and then I have a couple more in the. Are you talking about the Illinois gun ban? I have no idea. Totally unconstitutional. Normally, I would say no, but I haven't looked into the specifics of this one. They have a pretty. What's up, Bubba? Can't even talk today. They have a pretty good track record of shutting down significant rifle like bans, weapon bans, luckily. But with the changing demographics and the changing just kind of political landscape, it's going to get worse and worse. So what's up, Colorado Bike Prepper? For all of you guys who haven't been here since the beginning, I'm only going to be on here for 5 more minutes. Then I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and then we're going to show up on the Prepper Trifecta live stream with JJ Johnson and Che on the Reality Survival channel. Get on the email list, links in the description. So when I make my survival fishing kit, I can let you guys know, because there's only going to be a few of them in the beginning to see if anyone actually gives a shit. Thanks, Leonard, for loving the channel. Yeah, I don't think we'll get an assault weapon ban, but, you know, anything's possible. I think there's just too many people who realize that it's not. And it's not the political will isn't there overall. And it would be so costly for a lot of politicians to really kind of be traitor on that. That luckily I don't think we're at that risk of it, but you never know. It could happen at any moment. This is why I was, you know, it's foolish when people kind of fetishize the Constitution, because I love the Constitution. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, but it is just a contract. It's an imperfect one. And most importantly, it can be changed even within its own rule system. Like, there is nothing in the Constitution that requires there to be a First or even Second Amendment protections. Those could be, any amendment can be changed, repealed, you know, if you get enough of a majority. So as we get changing demographics and more people coming into the country don't believe the same things that we believe, and those ratios start shifting, anything's possible. So to say, I only follow the Constitution, that's fine. What if the Constitution suddenly doesn't allow you to have assault weapons anymore? Legally, that could certainly be the case. There are legal ways to ban guns. It's just would be difficult, but it's possible. So don't fetishize any particular contract or constitution or anything like that. It's about, like Ted Nugent said, I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I have the right to defend myself and my family using any weapons or any means necessary. Cost score the election. Yeah, exactly. Like, they'd have to really go to war on that. And I don't think that the will is there, luckily. I'm worried about the little things, little states doing it, restrictions on, you know, like the bump stock ban. That seems like it doesn't matter, but it's a pointless concession and just gives them more ammo. Like, you can't let the camel's nose in the tent on these issues. Yeah, prohibition of alcohol, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly, Tom. I don't think it's likely, but it's not within the next 5 years or something like that. But within the next 20 years, who knows? Still casting. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by still casting. Well, I had time, I could tell you a little bit about fishing. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who could. I have some family members who are significant fishers, but like I said, this is probably going to seem, the kit will seem very rudimentary to someone who's a very accomplished or avid recreational fisher, things like that. But it's just literally meant to be an emergency kit, you know, because it's something that a lot of people don't have, and it's very small. But all the ones I could find out there that were for sale were total trash, and they were like only slightly cheaper than this will be for like a Walmart kit with 20 feet of line and like 3 hooks and stuff like that. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do remember them. They're trying to add taxes and age restrictions. And I think some of those, there has been some age limitations that people have made after some of these shootings, where they're saying you have to be 21 to buy a gun. Like, that's unconstitutional. It's an age-related discrimination. I think some kid who went in there to buy a gun is suing, and I think he'll win. JJ Johnson this channel's Reality Survival and Prepping. The link is in the description to this. It should be. I've already put it in there. And then Shay's channel is Prepper Logic. But we'll be doing the live stream on the Reality Survival channel. So check that out. Got 1 or 2 more minutes here. Make sure you sign up for the email list in the description. Check out our live stream, which will be happening in about 10 minutes on Reality Survival channel, where we're discussing our videos that we did on the 10 things for your community to do after a Shit the Fan event, and the 10 rules that you would have for your group or your mutual aid group or your compound, whatever you want to call it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take off, take a quick bathroom break, get ready for this live stream. Exactly. There's no constitutional prohibition on gun regulation. It just would require a 2/3 majority and all that. So, yeah, I have heard the rumor that RBG has died. She hasn't been seen in 17, 19 days or something like that, despite having supposedly been involved in some of the more recent decisions. So at the very least, I think she's hanging on by a thread, which I don't celebrate anyone dying. I feel bad for the poor old lady. She probably would have retired if they weren't propping her up Weekend at Bernie style. But I don't think there's any chance. I don't think there's a very good chance she lasts another 1.5 years. And I certainly don't think there's any chance she lasts another 5 years or 6 years. So we'll see. See you guys on the Reality Survival channel in a few minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll talk to you later. Yep, see you in a bit.